South Africa has been the largest beneficiary of AGOA by virtue of the volume of trade and the diversity of products going into the United States. 25% of trade with the United States happens under AGOA. A significant component of this trade is made of automotives, wine, citrus and nuts, amongst others. While losing AGOA benefits will have a negative impact affecting 25% of trade and possibly affecting the competitiveness of local products in the U.S. market, independent economist economist says U.S. lawmakers calling for South Africa's hosting rights for the AGOA forum later this year to be revoked is a sign of the U.S.'s frustration with South Africa's political posturing in the Russia war in Ukraine. He says the Lady R Russian vessel docking in Simonstown and the allegations of the sale of arms to Russia has not been helpful for South Africa's ambitions of continued benefits under AGOA.
If that BRICS summit would have taken place as anticipated initially, with all presidents and heads of state being present, there's absolutely no chance of South Africa hosting that forum, and that just one thing leads to the next, and I think South Africa would have been on particularly shaky grounds in terms of a future AGOA renewal. It is still on shaky grounds. The conditions for South Africa's future AGOA beneficiary status are not guaranteed, and I think here again it needs to be borne in mind that AGOA is not, it might be non-reciprocal, but it's not unconditional.
The Opposition Democratic Alliance says it does not believe that South Africa would be removed from AGOA. The DA's Shadow Minister of Finance, Dion Josh, together with other DA leaders, travelled to the United States on a mission to plead for South Africa not to be removed as an AGOA beneficiary. The party says it is concerned that the relationship between South Africa and the US was getting strained due to the government's stance on the Russia war in Ukraine. The DA says South Africa being excluded from AGOA would be detrimental to the local economy.
This is really not about international politics. This is merely about bread and butter issues for South Africa. Because what we also spoke about was the fact that the possibility of soft sanctions being applied on South Africa because of the behavior of our government. And we've said very clearly that that only hurts people. If you take AGOA away, it's like a sanction, and that's not the way to go. There's a different way to punish South Africa if that needs to happen. So that was a key and crucial message. Another message that was very important that we discussed with one of the very important chambers was that we need to start thinking beyond AGOA, because remember, AGOA was always temporary.
Several attempts by SABC News to get the Department of Trade, Industry and Competition to speak on this matter were unsuccessful. Gloria Stefako Mosi, SABC News, Johannesburg.